Pleasant good morning, a very good Monday morning to one and all. Welcome to the Monday's episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. Today is Monday, the 18th day of November in the year 2024. Welcome one and all. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you're looking forward to a productive week. You know, Monday is the day of champions. Champions like Mondays because we're going to start a new week. We're going to get things done. We had the opportunity to relax and rejuvenate, and we're coming in the new week. So yes, welcome one and all. As you come on, share the live. The numbers are not what they ought to be at this stage, and the thumbs up too are not what they ought to be. What happened? You're tired? You can't be tired for school, man. You can't be tired for school. So share the live. Let them know that we are on. I did a lot to make it here this morning. Trust me. I had to make a special effort to be here this morning. So if I can make it and be here, you too can do likewise. So share. My colleague, Mr. Conway, is already in the studio. He's waiting. We have so much again to tell you this morning. Breaking news. We're going to give it to you. Two sets of breaking news this morning. So share the live. You don't want your fellow students to be deprived of this information. Share, and we are going to come to you in a while. You know, today, Monday, like all other days, a glorious day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Let's give praise and thanks to being in the land of the living. It's a privilege to be in the land of the living. So many persons would not have been this fortunate. So let's give praise, let's give thanks. It's all because of the Almighty. We are here this morning on this program, on this earth, to enjoy whatever it is we enjoy, even if it is life. Because despite what some of us may be going through, the fact that you are allowed to wake and see this new day, there's something to be thankful for. So yeah, share. We have a lot to tell you. The program was scheduled at 7 o'clock this morning, and as is customary now, people immediately flocked into the schoolyard. And when the door was open, school door was open a while ago, people are in. Well, you're not giving it thumbs up, almost 500 already, and we got, 8 or 10 thumbs up. You got to come in, you got to show your appreciation, and we are going to show ours. We're going to show our dedication, and all you have to do is to show your appreciation. So here we are once more for this glorious day. So share the live, let them know that we are on this Monday morning. I know we have a lot to do. I know some of you would have had a very busy weekend, but we are, as I said, it was a challenge for me to be here this morning. But I said I couldn't disappoint my students, and therefore I made a very special effort to be here. And all I'm asking you to do is to show your appreciation and listen attentively. We have a lot to tell you. As is customary, we're gonna do the roll call. Then we're going to make the announcements. But I wanted to tell you before you do all that, share. Subscribe to the channel. I continue to implore you to subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, some people are telling me, well, they have subscribed but not getting the notification when the program goes live or when anything is posted. That is because you may not have hit the notification button, the little bell, the notification bell when you subscribe. So you should do that. And you should follow the page on Facebook, and you're going to get notifications. Over the past couple of 48 hours or so, about 3 or 4 short clips were posted, and they've had lots and lots of views. So share, continue to share. Now let me do the roll call, and then we're going to come in. This morning, 7 o'clock, when we scheduled the program, we had Kenneth. He alone came in at 7 o'clock, on the dot at 7 o'clock. That's when it was scheduled. And then at 7:01, Tessa, Evelyn, Sean, Carlton, my squad mate, 9430, Brian, Winston from California, Anthony Bradshaw from Peters Hall came in. They all came in at 7. Sorry, the first set came in at 7:01, and then Anthony, Leon, Connor Rookman, Magnell, they came in shortly after 7:02, and then the list kept going. We had Puran from Essequibo Coast, Pamela from West Dem, Joan from New Amsterdam, Keith from Brooklyn, Derek, Carlisle, Brennan, Mary, John, Marcia, Earl, Courtney, And Courtney says he's enjoying Davenport, Florida. Enjoy your vacation. If it's not, you're on, Courtney. Enjoy. Kevin is here. Barlett, the man from the hills, is here with us. Randolph, Charles, BX, the one and only BX, my squad mate, 9407 is here. Rhonda, Amanda, Aubrey from Canada. And Aubrey is enjoying his vacation in St. Lucia. People are vacationing at this time. Enjoy. Machu, I know the thing is that even though they are on vacation, they have found the time to make sure they attend class, which is commendable. Grace is here. Bart, Felicia, Charlene is one who gave with us. Clarence, Princess Earl from Lamar Springs, Chisel. I haven't seen you in a while in class. Welcome, Chisel. Anthony, Pauline, Aileen, Vibert, and this is Vibert Lawson. Carl, Everett, Bonita, Wayne from the UK, Francis Keith from Melinda Mashana, Marcus, Wayne, Heather, then it's Michael, William, Russ, and Russ is from New Jersey. Gary, Sean is with us. Richard, Patricia, Gaston Taylor, my squad mate, 9556 out of Canada. Wenda, Salima says she was 17488. She's in the schoolyard. Welcome. Lynette from the UK. Aubrey. Then it was Rawl. Westbury, Connecticut. You see, even though these people are not in their usual locations, they're making sure that they sign in. Harold is here. Nicola, Ezzy. Jacko is here. Fergus, Clive from the UK. Carl, my squad mate from Arizona, is here. Lyndon, Ainsworth, the man K. Emerson, TK. TK is from California, is with us. Then we have David, Patricia, and this is Patricia Atterley, Mark H. Daniel from Linden, Denise, the secretary, Malcolm, Vibart, Smithy, 7464 is here. Donna, me is with us. Barbara, Ulrich, my next squad mate out of Barbados, 9555. Rosalind, the original black man, is with us. Siobhan, Rhonda, West Dem. Then I'm still in the house. Patricia, and then it is Queenie from Brooklyn. Marlon, Denise from from Florida. Carl, Colin, Andre, Cecile, Moses, Karen, Gordon is here. George, Maureen, Rohan, Rayburn, Royston, Jakey is with us. Clifton from Paris, Abera 1111, John. Then it is Lyndon, I suspect it is the Anson. Brenda, Lucius from Maryland is here with us. Annette, Sandra, Cart, Marva, Simo is from Texas. O'Neill, Ceylon, Paul from Canada, who had aboard there recently. All the best, Paul, Michael, Henrik, Danny is here with us. Terrence, 9795 from Canada. Albert, John from Clarksville is here with us. Michael Bravo from the islands, the Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. Then it was Doreen, Colin, Stephen, Isabella, Grantley, Barbara Baptiste this time, Ashley, Audrey is in the house. Oh, Audrey was smiling. Audrey smiling and laughing. Let me get thumbs up if you're smiling and laughing. And we all know why you're smiling and laughing. Kay is here. Cord, Leon, good to see you on Saturday, 10025. Orange Chicken from the UK is here. Then it is Jean, Reginald, Connolly, Phil, Patricia, Janella, welcome. Peter, Lorraine, and Lorraine, you too smiling like me. Me, Lorraine, Audrey, all of you smiling. Cece, all of you smiling, mom. You got a lot of smiling. Karma is a bitch. Karma it is indeed. Floyd, Diane, Vernon, Boo is here. And you know, I said, Boo, I want to be at court one day when a certain assistant commissioner going to answer the charge. I got another Boo. That is what I want. No disrespect to Mr. Alexander, but I just want to be wrong. And when he passed, I got to say, Boo. Then we have Ben. Ben is here. Roy from upstate New York, Schenectady. Allison, Barbara, Trevor, Glendis, Nigel, Bray, Dorette, Melville is here with us. Anne, Richard, the angel don't miss a class, man. Rennie, Sandrine Baird is here. Then it is Farina. Chilo is in the house. Simone, Orville, Lester, Benjamin. This is another Tessa. Tessa is here. And then it is Rastaman. And then after Rastaman, R. Crawford. Melissa is here. Sharwin, Dwayne, Shemlin, Annette, Carol, Desiree from Georgia. Then it is, after that, it is Yonet. Then after Yonet is Errol, Michael. Hope is not that one. Hope is that one. Because it's a Michael Young from the Volkswagen company in Germany. But I believe this is the next one. Kerry is here. Kerry is still hanging out in Guyana. Welcome, Kerry. Deborah, Marva was the last person in the schoolyard. And then when we went live, first person was the school door open, as is customary. Edward Charles. Then it was Theodore. Then after Theodore, we had Joan came back again. Lynette from Barbados, always here. Ingrid, Claudette, and the list goes on and on. Abu is here with us. Faye is here with us. It goes on and on and on. Well, let me make the announcements, and then we're going to come into the meat of the thing. Now, the first announcement I want to make, we make these sad announcements, is the death of a former TSU stalwart, Alan Davis. Used to call him Footsie. 7896 was his number. He retired many years ago as a corporal. He was a drill instructor as a corporal. Then he went to Guymine Constabulary, where he accelerated. He became a superintendent at the Guymine Constabulary. I remember Footsie very, very well. When I joined the TSU in 74, those guys were there established as TSU stalwarts. And then when the TSU Borbies branch at Adventure was formed, Footsie is one of those guys who went up to Borbies with TSU-B. There was a TS, there was a TSU-B. All right? Station at Adventure. Footsie was there. And let me, my light, one of my light went out, and I'll get it sorted out. Footsie was there. And then I went up there. I was a sergeant in charge of drill and musketry in Georgetown. And I went up there, and I met Footsie, 7896 Davis, 9112 Trim, and 8850 Chester. They were instructors there at the time. They were training militia people. And they were outstanding. They were better than some of the instructors I had in town. So when I returned to Georgetown, I made representations for them to come and join my training wing in Georgetown. And Footsie and Jeff Trim, Coffrey, we used to call him 9112, they came. But Chester did not come. Chester had some other things going along, and he chose not to come. I think he resigned. And yeah, but Footsie was an outstanding drill instructor. Tall, strapping, well built, good carriage and deportment. So Footsie passed away yesterday, I understand. His number was 7896. And let us say, may he rest in peace. And we had recently, I had announced the funeral arrangement for our good brother from the TSU, Bora Johnson, Horace Johnson. He was buried on Saturday, and he had viewing at the Sandy's Funeral Home, and then viewing in Micah at the church. I know it was pleasing to see the TSU turnout. I saw some TSU stalwarts there. People like 7785 Trotman, 9336 David Simon. And all of these people turned out. They beaten Mr. My friend. It was a pleasure to see beaten Dubiset. All of those guys were there. Toro. Oh, it was a good thing. Charlene, who is on the live, was there as well. Charlie and all of those persons. And then I saw a picture when they went to the church in Micah. Another turnout of TSU men, Lyndon Bockman, Kevin, and all of those guys, Lee Cram, who was Bora partner, and so many people, Junior and all of those people. It's good. And it reminded me, and I made a post this morning in the group to say that is what the TSU was about. Unity. We worked together, we played together. And when I was a boss man, they couldn't mess. I was very strict. But notwithstanding that, we had the type of camaraderie. So it was good to see the guys turn out to give Bora a fitting send-off. And as I said this morning, we have got to make time to meet outside of funeral. Us TSU, we call ourselves depot dogs. We depot dogs got to meet outside of funerals to interact and to talk to each other. It was a pleasant thing to see so many TSU ranks turning out Saturday, both in Georgetown and on West Coast borders. Again, I want to say condolences to the relatives, friends of Footsie Davis, and to continue to say, God be with you all, give you strength to go through this trying time. And yeah, so that is it. And let me tell some birthdays. We had some birthday. Today the birthday of a student, Donna Emmanuel's birthday is today. I want to wish her all the best. And then we had some belated birthday greetings. Senior Superintendent Jeremy Johnson, Jano, had a birthday recently, is the IT man. Johnny used to be a good footballer and swan around. One of the better, I think, one of the better, more qualified senior officers in the force. We also had a birthday recently of a man who they have been trying to kill, Dion Bascom. Right? Dion, who is the man who told us about all the shenanigans involving Paper Shards murder, and they come up with all sorts of charges against the cybercrime and all kind of charges. He had a birthday recently, and I want to say to you, brother, stay strong. The truth will set you free. Stay strong. Do not be coward. You're a strong guy, both physically and mentally, and don't ever give up. Don't back down. Don't sell your principles. Don't sell your principles. Right? So the other birthday, a retired ASP, I think he was, Joseph Jack, traffic man. I think he was ASP, I'm not sure. He had a birthday recently too. And then we had retired woman detective inspector Lillian Scotland. Lillian worked with me in A Division for a period there. She had a birth anniversary recently too. To all those who are celebrating today and who had recently, I want to wish you all the best. Godspeed, good health, strength, prosperity, and may you live to see many, 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 many more days. Let me bring in Mr. Conway, and then we're going to move on. CC, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you're looking forward to a productive week.
Yeah, very, very nice weekend. Spent a lot of time with my grandchildren, We had grandfather real busy both Saturday and Sunday. Anyways, always you must give praise to the Lord. We are all in the land of the living to do God's work. And I remember Footsie work, we worked together at the Felix Austin Police College. He was a drill instructor. And then I encouraged him. I say, "Hey, you got to double. You got to be both a class instructor and a drill instructor." He was a bit reluctant, but then I got him to think, and he became both a class instructor and a drill instructor. A few people you would find as both class instructor and then drill instructor. And I remember his father. And I want to talk a story that will always remain with me. His father, I knew him as a sergeant. He's a sergeant in charge of Welded Police Station. And as a little boy, I live at Britannia. And Britannia is the last station village for Welded, the eastern end. And afternoon, I was riding a bicycle. I had no brakes. It was coming down to twilight. And there's this big, strong sergeant came out of a rum shop. Perhaps he'd been an inspector to see whether the person's license was in place. I said, "Come, youngster, come." And I rode up to him. Well, I had to put my foot on the road to stop the bicycle. He held on to the bicycle. I jumped off and I made a sprint, a 400-meter sprint to my house, up the back step, under the bed, and I kept there, Listen, my mother and father were in the backyard in our kitchen garden. And whilst there, I heard Davis' voice, the sergeant. Brother Conway. My father went to him and he told my father that I was riding a bicycle without brakes and he must make sure that I don't ride the bicycle without brakes anymore, and my father must have brakes for the bicycle. I quietly came out from under the bed, pick up a book, sit down in the house like you were reading something, and then my father come and say, "Oh, you do your mischief. I know you're playing that you're reading. Anyway, you're not gonna ride back this bicycle without brakes. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna find a brakes there." But the sprint that I made, that 400 meters, I think I set a world record. I think the world record by Dwayne Newkirk is 43.03 seconds. I think I did it in 43 seconds fast, but I think it was when I did that I created a lot of win on my way to thing there. But the point I want to make is that the station sergeant, they knew people in the district. They knew the new places, as the case may be. And he knew my father, so he could have gone and take the bicycle and carry it to my father, And he didn't charge me. Say, Warnie, as the case may be. And those were good station sergeant who had good local knowledge of the district inside out.
Yeah, and that was the hallmark of the old policemen. They were respected. They knew the district. They were respected. Now, I would neglected to mention when I announced those two persons who passed. One of the students just reminded me that we get word, I think it was Saturday night, a corporal, I think it's Rameshwar, I don't know, Rameshwar Henry, either Henry Rameshwar or Rameshwar Henry, collapsed and died on the East Bank. He was on duty there, they say, and he collapsed and he died shortly after. They say somewhere at Coverdale or somewhere there on the East Bank. So condolences to the colleagues, relatives and friends of Rameshwar, who died suddenly Saturday night. Stress, police are stressful work, even more stressful these days. And somebody correct me to say that Jack, who celebrated the birthday, recently retired as a deputy superintendent. I did not mean to demote you, my brother, but I couldn't remember the exact rank you were when you retired. And, CC, I got to start by going through some sayings, I have said them before, let me repeat them. They say, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back at them. That is Proverbs 26:27. Let me read about Proverbs 26:27. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back at them. Perhaps an even bigger stone than roll back at them. And then they said, I told you all about the power of prayers, the power of prayers. And they are trying, up to now, they continue to try. And I tell you some stories. They're trying to put me on my knees. They're trying to see me on my knees. They're trying to ruin me financially and otherwise. But I say that anytime you see Paul Slow on his knee, it's because I'm there for pray for them. And the prayers are being answered. Prayers are being answered. Right? And let me tell you more. I said more of them. Referring specifically to Brutus' drivers and all of them who were charged recently, more of them will suffer. More of them. If not them picnic will suffer. Because you cannot be telling the type of lies. You cannot ruin people's career in the manner some of them have done and not suffer the wrath of the Almighty. They call themselves religious, whether they're Christians, whether they're Muslims, whether they're Hindus, whether they call themselves religious. And they hold the holy book. They go to court and they lie on people. They frame people. They tell other lies. You got to suffer. Those things got to come back to haunt you. Must come back. I made the point before on this program that during that trumped-up conspiracy to commit fraud trial, where Mr. Conway, myself, and other senior police officers were charged, the most painful part, I always knew that we were innocent. We never involved in any such thing as they claim. But the most painful part for me was to sit there and see police officers come into the courtroom, held the Bible and whatever other holy book and lie their head off. I sat there and I listened to these people. I said, my Lord. They sat there and they lied and they know that they lied. They know that they lied, but they can't know their political direction. So the time coming, tell you, God don't sleep. You don't wear pajamas. God don't sleep. You don't wear pajamas. And remember Psalms 35. They say weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. And a couple more, old people say ingratitude is worse than witchcraft. They're ungrateful. To me personally, and perhaps to other people, they're ungrateful. Right? And then the thing we said, God don't sleep. So this is what happens when the tears of innocent people are on you, that destroy a lot of lives. Brutus in particular, calling him. destroy the lives and careers of a lot of people in the Ghana police force. Look what happened to him. And what we're saying here now, breaking news. Breaking news. Let me read what the thing is saying for those of you who are not up with it. Breaking news. Let me find the correct one. I got two I want to read to you. The first one here says, this is Garden Mosley. News just in, Deputy Commissioner of Police. Garden, there is no Deputy Commissioner of Police either acting or substantial. I expect better from you, Garden. But Garden says this, Deputy Commissioner of Police acting Calvin Brutus. On Monday, that's today, faced an additional 201 charges for liability of an official. Garden, there is no acting deputy commissioner. If you see, I'm sure if you look at the statement of offense and the partings of offense, they say Assistant Commissioner of Police Calvin Brutus, who was performing this function as deputy commissioner. Total difference, eh? So Garden, don't fall into that trap like the others. You're better than that. So there's no deputy commissioner, either acting or substantive. So let's get that straight. He goes on to say he was not required to plead to the charges. Bail was set at $50,000 on each charge, amounting to over $10 million. Another thing said $10,580,000 bail. Brutus is set to appear in court again. Well, that should be reappear in court again on January 17, 2025 for these new charges. Monday was also set for reports and statement on Brutus, for Brutus co-accused, his wife Adonica Alder, his driver Sergeant Kevin James, and businessman Asaf Zafarali. However, statements were not available. As such, the prosecution requested additional time, and they were asked to return to court on December the 18th. On that date, Brutus is also expected to reappear concerning the first 31 charges he faced. Something a little wrong with the story in terms of that, but we gotta sort that out. And then the next one here says, before bringing Mr. Conway, here what the next one says, ACP, Garden, don't let it offend you. This is NCN. NCN offended you, Garden, because NCN said ACP, which abbreviates Assistant Commissioner of Police Calvin Brutus, granted 10 million bail on new liability charges. The story goes, Assistant Commissioner of Police and Attorney at Law Calvin Brutus was granted bail in the sum of $10,050,000 today on 201 additional charges of liability of an officer. The matters were called before the acting chief magistrate at the Georgetown Magistrate Court. These allegations add to a growing list of legal woes. This latest development follows previous charges leveled against 44-year-old Brutus last month, including money laundering, misconduct in public office, and lastly by public officer. These cases involve the alleged misappropriation of over $800 million during his time in the office as Deputy Commissioner of Police acting for administration. Prosecutors claim Brutus used his position to funnel public funds into questionable projects, with a significant portion allegedly siphoned off for personal gains in bank accounts belonging to his 25-year-old wife and 4-year-old son. Brutus has maintained his innocence, insisting that the allegations are trumped up. Brutus, who is being represented by a battery of lawyers, is set to return to court next month for further proceedings. Let me bring in Mr. Conway, and we are going to this. CC, 201 additional charges this morning, they say, for liability of public officers, put on total of 10 million, another 10 million, what's the amount? $10,580,000 bill. Let me hear you on this, my brother.
Well, you mentioned karma, You mentioned two women named earlier, Saul and Audrey Small. I remember Audrey Small, she was a traffic officer in A Division, and Brutus had wanted some ranks to go and see him. And she, according to her, she told him, look, you got to talk to Magby, you can't talk to me. And she refused to send them. And she saying, Brutus call her and say, okay, you sending them, I'm going to make your life miserable. You transfer with immediate effect to training school. Remember, she had 1 week more to go before proceeding on pre-retirement leave. 1 more week, and the next day, they got a letter signed by Brutus transferring them to the training and environment. Happy, who was the commissioner, who was performing the duties of commissioner, said he didn't know anything about it, but he didn't do anything there. So Audrey did what any real police would do. She went into the wicket, attacking. She gone, she report sick. She take a 7-day sick leave and straight on to retirement. Perhaps Audrey is smiling right now, and I think Salto will be smiling. But then again, going to Brutus, why wasn't Brutus why wasn't Brutus interdicted so far? No interdiction for Brutus. No interdiction for his driver. What is the unholy Bishop Finley doing? Huh? It is public knowledge. He doesn't have to wait on the commissioner of police to write him. It is public knowledge Brutus has been charged. And he cannot be interdicted. He's not interdicted. Something is wrong somewhere. The bishop is like run with breakneck speed. So one day say he waiting for a recommendation to from the commissioner to promote men, and the next day promote 252 persons there, do a whole set of nonsense, promote persons who left the work and all kind of thing, you know. So what is he waiting for? The instructions are clear, the procedure is clear. A man has been charged, you interdict him pending the outcome of the matter. If he wins his case, he only put him on half pay. If he wins his case, you get back all his money and then you reinstate him. So what really is the Police Service Commission doing? And then on the other hand, what really is the extended squad doing? A sergeant, a sergeant has been charged. I like the transfer somewhere to West Moraro or somewhere there. He has been charged criminally, not interdicted. Perhaps the squad is waiting for the next year, the 31st of June, like he did in Borbis. Then he would interdict him. What really is going on? Total, it can be incompetence, but you know, it is, to me, it looks like corruption, Person get charged, look how long now, and cannot be interdicted. A simple process, interdict the person, and you covered by law. The bishop there, I don't know what the bishop doing.
The bishop fishing up according to one of the students. The student said the bishop is fishing up, and I agree with him. The bishop is fishing up. But let me. And Audrey said, she's on the live. She said that when the instructions was passed to people to go to headquarters, he didn't even speak to her as the officer in charge of traffic. He talked to some inspector, and when they said, well, look, this is the protocol, the commander should know. He transferred her, and 5 days before she went to pre-retirement leave. 5 days. He was the all-powerful man. They used to call him Putin. He was the all-powerful man there at police headquarters. Since you think transfer, now he is transferred into not civilian life yet, but yeah, anyway there. He's on his way. And I for the life of me, I cannot understand how this officer first charged on the 24th of October. Today is the 18th day of November. And my information is that he has not been interdicted from duty yet. In July, he was placed on administrative leave. You remember the story? When they denied, the extended squatter. Let me show you all this thing, man. The extended squatter denied that Brutus was being investigated. When he was brackled, that God is here. Look at it. This is it here.
Guyana's acting commissioner of police Clifton Hicken today laid to rest claims that his deputy commissioner of police acting Calvin Brutus is on the investigation by the Special Organized Crime Unit. Hicken spoke with reporters on the sidelines of the first legal conference on criminal justice reform at the Marriott Hotel in Georgetown.
It's about Mr. Brutus and the multi-million dollar deposits. Is it true or not?
No, it's not true. And I made a release already through our system.
You didn't see that?
Yeah, I made a release. It's in the system. There's no investigation going on whatsoever.
And no deposits?
Nothing whatsoever. You know.
Okay, thank you.
Brutus, who served as the force admin officer, was transferred to Special Branch, while Deputy Commissioner Provincial Dat Budram is now in charge of administration, while the head of the Special Branch, Assistant Commissioner Errol Watts, is now in charge of operations. In a statement from the police, it said that the move is part of the modernization plan for the Guyana Police Force.
Part of the modernization plan for the Guyana police force. That is what these lying people said. When they knew, Ikin knew, according to Brutus in a subsequent affidavit, he knew at the time when he made that statement, he knew that Brutus was being investigated for financial irregularities. Brutus claimed that Ikin told him that he was instructed by cabinet, Ikin was instructed by cabinet to send him on leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Immediately, right? Brutus said so in an affidavit. So then Ikin telling the world, and what happened? Nothing happened. He's sitting down there still as the acting commissioner, lied big man. As we country, we say lying people, not untruth or being less than candid. He's telling a blatant lie, caught in a blatant lie, and nothing happened. So yes, the man is charged. In October 24th, on October 24th, 30 charges read to him. Money laundering for senior police officer. Thieving, what they call larceny by public officer. Fancy phrase for thieving. They claim that he thieved $60 million from the police credit union. Sorry, not the credit union, the police consumers co-op. They also say he thieved another $20 million from them. So total $80-something million from that place. The welfare fund, $13-point-something million. They say he lick up there. And he lick up all over the place. All over. And you know, I asked the question yesterday when I announced the program that whether he going back, when he can answer the other charges, or whether he would appear in uniform. When he appeared the last time for the 30 charges, the man appeared dressed in his uniform. He appeared dressed in his uniform when he went on the 24th. This is where he appeared. But this morning, I'm told this is his appearance. He turned up with the tooth. He turned up with the jacket and tie. The man want to look official. This is him appearing this morning to answer the 201 additional charges. Imagine a senior police officer now on 231 criminal charges, and he's still on the job. He's not interdicted, or he's on administrative leave, which means that he's getting everything he's supposed to get. Administrative leave means that all his pay and all his salary and his allowances, all his everything, he continues to get. Whereas, if he is interdicted, or when he's interdicted, or he should have been already, then half pay, and the only allowance you can get once you're interdicted is house allowance. But as it is now, he's entitled to all those allowances and pay. And you want to tell me Guyana is a real place? You want to tell me Guyana is a real place? And let me ask some more pertinent question with respect to that. Well, I had asked if you would appear in uniform. That question is answered. He did not appear in uniform this morning. But let me say this part of it. Let me say this. I mentioned it before, and I feel obligated, I feel obliged to mention it again. I ask the question, is Calvin Brutus, Assistant Commissioner of Police and Attorney at Law, a licensed firearm holder? Is he still allowed to carry a firearm? I said before, I'm repeating, you gotta listen to me, you know. Don't listen, don't take no action. Brutus has displayed over the past 2 months or even more some very erratic behavior. File lawsuit, withdraw lawsuit, write statement. The man write me, imagine all this. The man get it lied up to write me, for me to threaten to sue me for defamation of character and all that. What character? This is a man that Soku said you thief $60 million from the police consumers co-op. Soku said you thief another $20 million from them. Foku say you bully the finance officer to give you 2 checks totaling $13-point-something million, which should not be. You get charged for that. You get charged for conspiracy to thief, to commit fraud, and you're telling me damaging your character? You did it all by yourself. That is the allegation. It is alleged now 231 times that allegation has been made that you committed criminal offenses. And I say, all the erratic behavior this man is displaying, file lawsuit, discontinue lawsuit, file lawsuit again, discontinue lawsuit. The mere fact that this man can get lied to write to me to say that he is being defamed for same statements about the 16.5, the 46.4, and all them property at Albert Tongue, I defame any character. I am saying that is erratic behavior. And y'all allow this man to continue to get gone. I said with all what's going on, it is clear that this man is under tremendous stress and psychological pressure. Tremendous. 231 charges. As it is now, a total of 16 point something million dollar bail. With the matter today, we don't even get bail yet. We don't know if he got bail because this morning they said $10.5 million bail. We don't know if bail has been posted. We're going to deal with it in a short while, this bail issue. But I am saying to you that this is sufficient grounds, demand behavior for you to relieve him of the firearm. If it's a forced firearm, yes, then easy, take it away. Take it away if it's a service weapon. If it's a personal firearm, initiate the process, seize it, and initiate the process to have it license revoked. This is a man who is a danger to himself, he's a danger to his family, he's a danger to the officers who live near to him because he's blaming them for all his problems now. He's blaming them. He said so in an affidavit that they are the ones. He said Budram responsible, Watts responsible. He talked about Karim Bash there conducting proper investigation. Y'all play with it. Play with fire and see if you're going to get born. Play with fire. You got a man like that carrying a firearm. A man like that who has displayed that type of erratic behavior. You don't want to see anything else? I say again, the man appears to be a danger to himself, his family, and all of those officers who he is blaming for the woes that he's going through now. And are you allowed to get gone? Imagine this man. Well, I'm not sure if he has a firearm, but I'm just saying if he has, is a neighbor to some of those senior officers they call, they live just a wall separating them. Imagine that. Just a wall separating them on this case. And y'all playing is y'all safety, y'all family safety. Y'all don't listen. Don't listen. I'm not hoping that anything untoward happen, but I'm saying that in cases like these, you ought to be very proactive. Not only for your own safety, but for the safety of all of those persons around. The witnesses and all of these people. The witnesses and all the people, the investigators and all of them. Yeah, look, these people really understand what's going on in this world, you know. Yeah, Mr. Walker, you should be given a psychiatric evaluation. But that can come, maybe the court at some stage, we want to know, they might want to plead insanity with all of these charges. All of these charges. And let me say this before bringing Mr. Conway. When you look at what is being alleged, and I say alleged because Calvin Brutus is still presumed to be innocent until he's proven guilty by a competent court of law. That is how the system ought to work, even though it don't work that way for everyone. But he's charged, allegations are made to him as of today. They said 231 criminal allegations, but he's presumed innocent. And in the law, in the courts, is not what you allege, is what and not what Brutus did, is what you can prove in the court. What you can produce evidence to prove that he did. So you say he thief money, you say he launder money, you say he conspired to commit crime, all of these things are good. But you have to now be able to present the evidence in a court of law to convince the magistrate that these things were true. Yeah, so there's a process to be gone through. And he is put on bail. He's put on bail, $10.5 million bail. Who bailing he? We asked the question before because when he paid on the 24th of October, he was put on $6.2 million bail, total $6.2 million bail. We have to know we know who bail you because I told you all again, you can't bail yourself. Somebody got to bail you because the person who bails you has a responsibility to make sure that you adhere to the conditions of the bail. So the first time he got bail, he was told to report every second Friday, I think it was, to Soku. And that was the second Friday in this month would have been the 8th. It is reported that he did not report to Soku as required by the bill. I don't know if that came up this morning. What is the position with that? Because the person who bails you has a responsibility to make sure that you adhere to the conditions of the bail. And they are alleging that he did not in the first instance. I don't know what conditions are attached to the bail, if he get bail as yet. I don't know if he get bail as yet. And from the time the magistrate say go on bail, what happened? Was he made to sit in the courtroom until the bail was posted? Was he taken down the chute to be in that holding area until what happened, man? We need to know. You're talking about transparency. We need to know. We need to know. And the wife can't bail here, Carl, because she too is charged jointly with him on some of these charges, he can't bail him. And they say he get money because they said if bank accounts were frozen, all the bank accounts except the one that he get his salary is paid into, right? Except the one. Imagine that. As it is now, let me assume that he find the money and give someone to bail him. You talk about a senior officer can find $16 point something million. Yeah? $16 point something million in his salary account. The same account they say you withdrew $60 something million from. That is the allegation. And that is the man who telling people that you're defaming him and you're making libelous statements and all of that. That is the person that we are. Let me bring Mr. Conway and I'm going to continue to talk something more about this matter. I ain't done. See, based on what I've said, bail, who bail him? What are the conditions of the bail? All of these things need to be answered. This man, is he of licensed firearm holder? What are they doing to protect him from himself and from others? Let me hear your views, my brother.
I'm holding my breath, and I'm happy you didn't say that you look into the crystal ball. But things are likely to happen. What you're saying there? The man is under serious psychological issues. And he's living next to the wall, separate himself and some senior officer. They have acrimonious relationship. And he living in a compound with several officers who don't have good relationship. They're going to lunch every day. Things are likely to happen, and I hope we will regret. I hope we won't regret. If he's a licensed firearm holder, this firearm should be seized and show cause why it should not be revoked. It's simply if he has a forced firearm, well then all he got is recall the firearm. This is a serious issue. And that's why I've been saying over and over again that there's need for a behavioral science unit in the Guyana police force to address such behavior from top to bottom. And here's it, 230 how much charges? 230 something charges. And if a man gets among the charges and he's likely to be carrying a firearm, something is definitely wrong. Perhaps we're waiting for things to happen. Hope that you're wrong, Paul. Hope that you are wrong. And hope that you don't go in the crystal ball.
Well, the crystal ball is hardly ever wrong, The crystal ball is hardly ever wrong. I am advised that he went to court this morning accompanied by a police sergeant, a serving police sergeant accompanying him, some Sergeant Prasad. And people are suggesting maybe Sergeant Prasad went there to bail him. I don't know, but imagine that. If let's assume that he is bailed, a serving police sergeant or somebody from the force can bail him. Something is definitely wrong with all going on. Wrong. And again, I'm gonna move on to another aspect of this matter. But let me again warn all of them. Ikin, Brutus, not Brutus, Budram, Watts, Karim Bash, because mind just saying the investigators, y'all gotta be extremely careful. You gotta be extremely careful and make sure that you take steps so that you can be well protected. Take steps to make sure you're well protected. Even though I have antagonistic, y'all come up at me, I feel obliged to advise you all to be careful. A man who has displayed this type of erratic behavior, who y'all are accusing of being involved in a lot of criminal activities, you're charging 231 charges now, they say. His wife charged, pregnant wife charged. Freeze the account of himself, his business, his wife account, his wife's business, and his 4-year-old son, who has, according to what they say, 2 accounts with over $14 million inside. Those things are frozen. This man can be a dangerous man. And to have him, if he has a firearm, again, I am saying I don't know that he's a licensed firearm holder. I don't know that he is carrying his force firearm. But I'm saying that if he is a licensed firearm holder carrying his firearm, or if he is allowed to carry a forced firearm, or if he was allowed, y'all got to be extremely careful. This is a man can trip at any time. And if he trips, he's a danger to himself, he's a danger to his family, he's a danger to all those persons who he claim are causing him all this stress. So I warn y'all, and I don't think I can warn y'all again. I warn, and I hope Ben, the minister, and the president and the vice president, y'all listen carefully to what I'm saying. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Y'all are going to take the advice, but if anything untoward should happen, I don't want to come back on this program or any place else and say, I told you so. So that is why I'm repeating it. So students will know that slow warn them. Slow warn them, and they did not heed the warning, and therefore, people say if it is hard, you're going to feel. You are going to feel. And the next aspect of this matter that I want to talk about is this whole thing. Now, if you look, if a proper investigation, again, I say SOCU is not capable of doing the type of investigation that needs to be done in this matter. If you do a proper investigation, you would see that this whole scheme was well planned and orchestrated. What do I mean? Brutus came to headquarters in admin position on the 16th of August 2020. That is 2 weeks after the president was sworn in and the new government formed. 2 weeks. President was sworn in on the 2nd of August 2020. Brutus was in Barbados at the time. And the acting commissioner, the man who was carrying out the function of he was instructed shortly after to bring Brutus to admin. Senior Superintendent Brutus. Never in the history of the force, at least the recent history of the force, such a junior, inexperienced person put in such a position. The man went there, and the offices that are under the admin, finance office comes under him, directly under him. Quartermaster stores comes directly under him. The construction section comes directly under him. Then you get oversight of the credit union as a board member, some chairman, whatever position. Oversight of the police consumers. And what happened in those? Check. The investigation will show. Let me start with finance. A whole set of people were removed. Those who were there and knew the system and perhaps would have resisted all of this corrupt activity, they were removed. They moved them until they bring a superintendent. Superintendent Bharat Prasad is now in charge of the police finance office. Check his background, check his record. He has nothing that recommends him to the position with the position. Nothing. But they put it there. Quartermaster store. And now only I understand is a whole about 20 persons, experienced persons from the police finance office, including people who were previously finance officers, were removed. Trap setting. Quartermaster store. They removed the people them who were there and who did not go along with this criminal plan. All the way down to put an inspector in charge of the quartermaster stores. A place that handles hundreds of millions of dollars in stores and all this, hundreds and millions of dollars. All your uniform, all your acquisitions, you got to go to the quartermaster stores, boots, and all of those things, quartermaster stores. Almost everything that is purchased for the force, hundreds of $million items purchased, got to pass through the quartermaster stores. We move also the people, put the inspector in there. Come to the construction section. The other officer there, same thing, go through the process, remove all the people who were showing some type of resistance and trying to keep in line with the procedure. You go to the police, consumers co-op, same thing. You remove the ones who are there and who might have caused you some problem. So this is not no coincidence. It was a criminal scheme. Get rid of all of those people there who know the system and who's likely to offer some amount of resistance. Get rid of them. Put people in place so when you can issue something, then they're gonna go ahead. It is alleged allegation, mind you, all of these things have to be investigated. That when these advanced forms that we talk about is driver the same Kevin George get 200,000 advance on 24th of December 2020 to go to Port Kaituma to do an investigation. $200,000. A driver, he's not an investigator, Brutus approved for him to go there. His secretary, Marcia Lewis, $200,000 to go to some other remote location to do investigation. All that was part of the scheme to lick up. All that was part of the scheme to thief money. Thief money, that is what it's come to. So I'm saying that if you're going to do a proper investigation, all of this you have got to investigate. All. And I'm saying this too, that as I know the system, Mr. Conway, I'm sure will bail me out, and a lot of old police here will bail me out. When admin man responds for a lot of transfers and postings, but there's no way the admin man can change a divisional or branch commander without the involvement of the commissioner of police, whoever sits in that chair. In my day, we used to have what you call posting meetings, where the senior officers will sit along with the commissioner when time to post in, or what they call them, rotation, or we call transfer. We would sit and we would discuss, we look for synergies. So if you got a particular commander, you feel he might be weak in a particular area, you put a 2IC who can support him. It goes along like that, because you want to build the relationship so the work can be done properly. But I understand that in recent time, it looked like Brutus was the man and that. So if Brutus was the only man changing commanders, branch commanders, changes this, and the man who sits in the commissioner chair sat there, did not intervene, and said nothing, then he is complicit in this whole thing too. He is complicit in this whole scheme. So this thing what we're talking about, Brutus, we focus on Brutus because he's the one charged. But if you look at the overall picture, how this thing was orchestrated, how it was executed, no one man can do it. Let me come back to the police finance office. You got a superintendent in charge. On account to one of the charges, or two of the charges, Brutus instructed this man to draw two checks totaling 13 point something million for the police central welfare fund. You want to tell me the finance officer know that he can't do that? He had no, and even if you're saying that Brutus bullying you, you're not going to complain. I'm sure as a finance officer, you would have had the opportunity to interact with the commissioner or even the PS at Overface. They sit there and you want to tell me that they are not complicit in this whole thing? The same thing with the police consumers co-op. There is alleged that he instructed the inspector who is in charge there to draw a check in our name for $60 million, to change it and to hand it over to him, Brutus. That is what is being alleged. Another allegation is that at the same place, $20 million drawn to him, paid to him for things to be supplied, never supplied. Wait, these people see these things and to bring it to the attention of someone else? First of all, you're even doing it to bring the attention. You ought to recognize that that is unlawful, illegal, it's thieving. And you might not want to refuse, you and say nothing, but you immediately run in a complaint to somebody. And if the people inside the system, the commission and them want to do anything, you got to make place to go on Overface Ministry or somewhere, finance ministry, somewhere and complain because you know that it's something that is wrong, something that is illegal. But the finance officers, all them say they're bullying, he bully them, so that they do the illegal act. And I'm saying, we have said before, you cannot be compelled to carry out an unlawful order. And one would expect that people who are divisional branch commanders will be able to recognize what are illegal orders and decide. Even the police discipline act, section 4C, say you disobey an lawful order given to you by your superior rank, either orally in writing or by authorized signals on parade. Lawful order, that's the operative phrase. Lawful order. That's somebody tell you, draw a check there for total of $30 million on your jump. Draw a check for $60 million. Change it and give it to me. You ain't see something wrong? Again, that is the allegation. Those are some of the allegations that are made. So this thing, again, I say this, all of this to say that a proper investigation ought to be done. Look at the $8.5 million. It can say that he collected $8.5 million from a businessman towards the wedding of Ikin, which took place in November last year. He said so in a statement. Up to now, he hasn't come out to debunk the statement. He said so, that he took this money. in his office. He said he counted it, and he caused his PAC to get and pay it. That you tell me there's not misconduct in office, in public office, or even worse, because the statement was made to clear Brutus when he deposited $46.4 million at the bank, which triggered a suspicious transaction report. He and others, he wrote that statement to say, no, I pay 8.5. Brutus said the source of that 46.4 was wedding gifts, Christmas gifts, and incentives that he got. Wedding gift, Christmas gift, incentives. Even that should be investigated. This incentive thing. Because basically when we talk about incentives, you're talking about Brutus and the commissioner giving themselves incentives. Look at it to see all that should be investigated. All of that. How much incentive they gave themselves over this period of time. All millions of dollars they gave themselves. This thing causes a wide investigation. We talk about all the funds. And I'm going to explain in a little greater detail this special constabulary thing that Mr. Conway was talking about. Let me bring in Mr. Conway before we move on. CC, what is your take on this whole, what seemed to have been an elaborate and well-planned scheme to thief the money?
Elaborate, strategic, move out persons, put persons in position that you can control. Move out persons, put persons in position that you can control, and then you do your own thing. And then even to transforming people. Paul, I know nowadays, my good friend Ivla Whitaker, who retired as assistant commissioner, was once a staff officer. And he couldn't, in this, he couldn't even transfer a corporal or a constable without the approval of the commissioner. He had to justify it. I remember when I was in training, and trainees to pass out, me and the superintendent, one superintendent, Crummy Wing, we had to go in front of Larry Lewis and justify each transfer, and we never get it right on the first occasion. Never get it right on the first occasion. Sometimes Crummy does say, CC, before we go in, let me pray. And she used to pray. And when we go in, sometimes blows, I make a joke, I say, Crummy, you weren't sincere in your prayers. And I can't see people transform people, admin transforming people, and the commission there and get say something is unless he agrees with it, unless he's complicit, or unless he's compromised, or he incompetent. All those move around, all those things were designed for a desired effect, so that I can do my own thing. So that if I say, write this check, you're gonna ask me how much, and you write it, So it's not only Brutus alone, but other people in authority. And then we go down to Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Finance, all those things. The whole system didn't work. Jack Dio said the system worked. The whole system didn't work from top to bottom. But the whole thing was designed to achieve a desired result. And the desired result was to thief the money.
The desired result was to thief the money. You know what student told me yesterday? He asked you to mention it. He said it would appear to him that this police consumer thing was designed to block the police consumers, lick it up, run it into solvency, and then they gonna come now and buy it. That's what man told me yesterday. Man called me to tell me, said, Waddy, you must look at this angle. Maybe it was a plan to block the police consumers, because that used to be a very profitable entity. And once they block it, then they're going to come and they were going to buy it. That is what somebody suggested yesterday. I never even considered that. But this thing, as I've said, required a further investigation. The next thing, so far, what we hear about the charges, what we have seen in the media, the charge in relation to what he did at Police Finance Office with the checks from the Police Central Welfare Fund, and now this 220 something vouchers, right? That dealt with what took place at the Police Consumers Co-op, the 60 million and then the 20 million. We ain't hearing nothing about the credit union with this $16.5 million. We ain't hearing anything further about that. We haven't heard anything further about the $46.4 million was deposited, whether it's Ikin and other businessmen. You want to tell me, when you look at that statement written by Akin, I said it before, you read that statement, even a good constable in my day would not have written a statement like that. And the statement full of hole, like Swiss cheese, like YMS, like Strainer, where he said he collected this $8.5 million from this businessman and paid it over. Start out by saying the man went to him and told him that the wedding gonna be at Pegasus. And yes, still he later on, right? The man already, he gave the impression that he had to book the place at Pegasus. So he's suggesting to us that a man printed an invitation with a venue and the venue wasn't even booked. That is what he's saying. And when you look, I say again, he said in the statement that he had this plan or this policy to support people during the weddings, during anniversaries, during birthdays, and other occasions. Get stakeholders to get involved to assist them financially. Where is the policy? Is such a policy a written policy? Who are the others to have benefited from this policy? All of this, I think proper investigation will try to find out. You can't just take a lion Malik statement as face value and decide along with us to discontinue the investigation into the $46.4 million. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. You have to investigate that statement. You have to investigate all the others. All the others who claim that, yes, we get this man money. I mean, Nandalal told them in court, account Brutus, that he's going to get Soku to expand the investigation to investigate all those who claim that they gave him gifts, which was part of this $46.4 million. What happened to the banking system? As CC said, Jack Joe said the system worked. Why did it take until all of this money? A man, 4-year-old son, get over $40 million in 2 bank accounts. You want to tell me that did not raise some amount of suspicion? That did not make suspicion. They say his driver, Kevin George, the other article in the news, in one of the social media things called Just in Time. Soku moved to the court, it is alleged, to get an order to freeze his account. That is George, the driver. And when they moved, they said the man withdrew $50 million just before this order came down. How did that happen? Does that, first of all, where he get the $50 million from? This driver, Kevin George. Where did he get the $50 million? And how did he come to suddenly withdraw $50 million? You did a bank. This man basically got $50 million there and he cleaned out this account at one go. We're dying something suspicious. That is not something suspicious. So the system, what Jack just said, it did not work. Did not work because from the time this driver had the $50 million there, red flags would have gone up. Red flags would have gone up. And let me say this too. Let me say this. I know because allegations were made. This is when he write me a letter for me to apologize to him. One of the things he mentioned is that we talk about $300 million at the police quartermaster store. And I maintain that the quartermaster store got licked up where they claim that items were delivered and he is alleged caused them to make out vouchers and all things to pay for items that were never delivered. Over $300 million in items with he and a businessman had run-ins going on. Sue me again. Write letter. He had run-ins going on. We ain't hear nothing about that too. We hear about the police finance office. We hear about the police consumers co-op. What happened to the quartermaster store? Because none of the charges that we saw, the 231 so far, nothing had mentioned about the police quartermaster stores. Nothing has been mentioned about the lick up at the police quartermaster store. What happened to the messes? Lick up at the messes. Let me show you all this one again. Let me show you all this one again, man. Let me show you all. Hold on. You got to produce the evidence, you know. You got to produce the evidence. I'm trying to find this evidence, you know. Hold on a minute. Bear with me one. I can't seem to find this thing now. Oh, here it is. Here, look. What happened to this? What happened to this? Look. All those are items that were alleged to have been supplied to one or more of the messes. Whole bundle of things that nobody ever asked for. They never requisitioned for. Hundreds of bags of chow mein, hundreds of bags of salt, as you see, toilet paper, bounty, towel, a whole set of things supplied. Hundreds of cases of canned beef. These things were just delivered, and you got to pay. I just deliver them. I don't ask you a question. I'm sending them there. You got to make out the necessary documentation and pay. That is what is alleged to have taken place. Those things are not going to be investigated. They are going to, you want to let them slide? You want to just let them slide? Are you not going to investigate too to show part of the motive? The fact that this man stopped everyone from supplying to the messes, to the consumers, and all those, he stopped. All these small people, they supply little egg, a little chicken, little cassava, little plantain, stop. He took over the thing. He, his wife, and his mother-in-law. That is the allegation. It showed the intent. It showed the criminal intent. All these things go towards showing an intent, right? So you're not going to investigate all of that? Are you telling me, as they're saying all along, the vice president and Nandalala, oh, so cool doing a proper, what proper investigation? Yeah, they did the proper investigation for the charge Brutus. What happened to all the other people who would have been involved? This thing got far-reaching tentacles, far-reaching, and they haven't done anything. What happened to the fact that this man, and this is to the police, Budram and them, the man installed his mother-in-law in the police quarters in the Mounted Branch compound. He put his mother-in-law in the police quarters. When police rank one quarters and can't get, has she been removed from there as yet? Has she been removed? So I tell you all again, when the Chief Justice on the 28th of June said she found Brutus to be self-serving, they didn't listen. What they did, they promoted him. They encouraged him. They built this monster that is this dishonest monster that is Calvin Brutus. They built him. So now I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. But let me move into the next part. Let me ask CC if he wants to say anything on this before I move on. CC, do you want to say anything further on that?
You said a lot. Let's move on to something else. We can always come back to that, the shocking story that's going on. But I'm saying a special audit must be done on the police consumers cooperative. Hey, them get boots, That's why in Barbies, the Amerindians there, they got to buy boots for $7,000 from a corporal who's fronting for a senior officer. That the police quartermaster don't get boots. They don't get boots, and the police there, the recruits got to buy boots for $7,000 from a corporal who is fronting for a very senior officer. And I got the names. I'm not going to call the names yet, but I'm going to call them.
Oh, that's what's going on. You want to tell me all those things are not to be investigated? Come on, y'all, share, and give me the thumbs up. The thumbs up are not what they ought to be. Well, less than 100 thumbs up and over 1,500 people on the live. What's going on? What's going on, students? I told y'all I made a special effort to be here this morning, and this is how y'all treated y'all teacher. That is how you treat your teacher with scant respect. Huh? I can't understand. I can't understand what's going on. Y'all gotta do better than that, man. You have to do better than that, students. Do better than that. Now let me move on to the next something that we were talking about, and people have asked me to give a more detailed explanation. I'm referring to the special constabulary. Now, some of you may not know, but there used to be several branches of the special constabulary, at least 3. Let me explain to you what happened. We call them SC. We derogatorily refer to them as sardine police. And then we had the ones used to call it Kiskadi. That's the traffic ones used to be in the yellow top. And that's other thing they used to refer to as Caesar. I was a special constable. When I joined the force in 1973, I joined as a special constable with regulation number 2680. I spent most of my time at Sparnam, and at the end of the year, we were all who joined there was stood down, and then that is how it worked. When you're a special constable, you were called out when there's some big duty. In our case, was for the election 1973. When things went back to normal, we were stood down. And then by that time, I had applied to become a member of the force. So I did all my processing, medical exam, and all of those things. And I joined the regular on the 1st of March, 1974. So I was a SC. So I talk about SC, don't believe I joined in the bandwagon for talk about bad things about SC. Even when I was a drill instructor, when a master is an SC, I used to ask them the word is complete. It's a complete spelling the word. And Guyanese would know what I'm talking about, right? So I was a proud special constable. Proud. Now, so you had the regular special constables. And then at that time, you had what they call Geistack. Remember that? Geistack, they wore uniforms and they performed functions of these agencies that came under the Geistack umbrella, right? They came under the Geistack umbrella. So you had the regular special constables are people who worked at the police station. They were listed on the roster. They were stationed at police station. You had some very outstanding special SCs who became up to sergeant, people like Elaine Gordon. I remember Elaine well, used to be at BV police station. Then people used to run police station, those SCs, run police station. You have people like this girl at WIM, Tyndall, can't remember her first name. Them running station, no officer, nobody can pull nothing upon them. Rail SC. They were very, very well trained and they knew what was going on. So you had those SCs working at the station, running shifts, doing summons, doing occurrences, regular SCs, right? Rice E2 was an SC. Now, then you had the Geistack people. They were not part and parcel of the force like the others. They worked at those corporations. And the corporations paid the salary to the police to pay to them. The corporation. So if they're working, wherever normally if you're working at those states where you had GEC, wasn't GEC then, whatever it was, you had all of those other corporations. Employ these people from Geistack that came under the Geistack umbrella. And then the corporations will pay the money, their salaries into the police. And then the police will pay them. Right? And then much later, you also had the National Guard Service with Larry Lewis and Sultan Qasim and Cecil Glasgow and all those people were the senior people, Bartlett Fredericks and all those people, National Guard Service. Then when Larry Lewis became the commissioner, sometime, I remember it was the 1st of August, can't remember what year, people like Simeon Gorick and all those people, Monica Light, they merged the National Guard Service people with what was it, Geistack people. They merged them. They merged. And the same arrangement, because Geistack people perform services someplace, and the places where they perform the service will pay the money to the police to pay them. Right? They weren't paid out of government coffers. The regular special constables were, but those others, the Geistack and the National Guard, they weren't paid out of government coffers. Right? Now, what is being alleged now? What is being alleged? We have people still working at these places. So if you go to GC, if you go to Customs and someplace, NIS, you will see special constables working there. They're saying that those people are not the regular special constables. They are part of this Geistack National Guard Service thing. They're claiming that the money is still paid into the police. But what has happened is that all of them now special constables, all of them are accounted for under the regular special. So in other words, government paying for the services of all of these people. Government paying them, but they're still collecting money from these corporations and these agencies or whatever they are now. That is what the allegation is. So the question is, where is this money going? So you have like the electricity company, you have like NIS, and you have all of these places, GRA, paying money for the service provided by these SCs at the various locations. That is what is being said. They're paying the money to the police, but the government paying the police. So where is this money that is being paid into the police going? That is the question. So somebody asked me to explain it, and I think that is the best explanation I can do. All of these things require investigation. This thing required because it's a tremendous lick-up take place. Tremendous lick-up. We're hearing about the credit union. We're hearing about the police consumers. We're hearing about the Central Welfare Fund. There's only a few of the funds they have. You should audit the fine fund, because the fine fund is a fund provided by law, where when ranks misconduct themselves, they can be fined, and according to the law 1701 of the laws of Ghana, the commissioner can fine you up to 10 days pay on any one charge. 10 days pay. A branch commander who is a disciplinary authority can fine you up to 5 days pay on any one charge. And we understand people are being fined. And these fines go into a fund that is controlled by the Commissioner of Police. So what happened to the fine fund? So enough time when they're fining people is not because the people might be guilty of an offense, but it's to build the fund. And what are they doing with the money that is put into this fine fund? What are they doing with it? When last was it audited? The most lucrative fund in the police force, the most lucrative fund in the police force is the learner driver fund. The learner driver fund had hundreds and hundreds of millions, perhaps even billions of dollars in it. The learner driver fund commenced when I was the traffic chief. Now let me explain, so in case they want to investigate. Not me, investigator going on. The learner driver package. A person who wants to learn to drive, he buys a package. I don't know what it costs now, but let's assume for argument's sake, for ease of reference, let's say the package is $2,000. Only a small percentage of that amount goes towards government revenue, small amount. The other amount go into a fund that is controlled by the Commissioner of Police. And we understand lick up. Hundreds of millions of dollars in that lick up. They have other funds as well. They have other funds. The police force has like about a dozen funds. Welfare fund, credit union, about a dozen bank accounts then, about a dozen bank accounts. That is controlled by the police. They got to audit in light of the fact that you all this big, massive fraud that Brutus is alleged of taking part in. You need to make sure that you go down now and you audit everything to see what is going on. We have been talking about the longest while on this program. We have been talking about what they did to the police central welfare fund. Decimate the police central welfare fund. We have been talking about it. They sit down there and do nothing. We understand the allegation is made that they took the police central welfare fund money and built swimming pool in the training compound. And I understand, I know if government give them back the money because it was a big showdown, it is alleged, with them and the government. They took the central welfare fund, a fund that is there to assist policemen and women. You're in the hospital, they make sure you get pajama, you make sure you gotta get type of medication. Well, the central welfare fund. You want a soft loan because somebody might have died. You want to buy books, your child go to school or uniform. Central welfare fund. They take the money from the central welfare fund. It is alleged, that is the allegation. And they build swimming pool. And then when they go, further allege that the government said, we ain't budget for that. We ain't budget for that. So all of these things require a thorough investigation by maintain that SOCU can handle. With the best intentions, let me put it this way, let me be decent and kind to them. With the best of intentions, they're not equipped with the expertise to deal with this investigation that the way it is. And as I said last Wednesday, the Vice President said that he's going to reach out to the new U.S. administration under Donald Trump for them to debunk all the lies that have been told by the opposition elements, opposition and social media elements. So perhaps, as I said in the piece, the satirical piece that I gave, that maybe you can ask them to get FBI to come and to investigate all the allegations, all including the Sugate allegation. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that allegation too? Hold on, man. Let me, hold on. Remember that allegation too? All of these things should be investigated. All. Look, this one. Investigate
Sit there and
this.
fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujurong?
So, so my relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
He claims.
First time you hear the word relationship. Relationship. First time the vice president ordered that word. We said investigate all of these things. Investigate all of these things. Yeah, our friend, Claudine, is not me friend, it's our friend. The man long all we together is our friend. All of these things should be investigated. All. Yeah, the police benevolent fund, they got enough money around the place. Enough that they need to make sure that they are properly audited. All of the funds. The benevolent fund, I think they want to fallen heroes. All of the funds they have should be properly audited. All. Because if you get a man lick up as a claim, police, consumers, $13 million from the police, Central Welfare Fund, other places and so on. That would have triggered an audit of all the funds, automatic audit, because the man had control of all of them. So automatic audit. So I don't know what they're talking about. Vice President, the system work, and SOCU is capable. It is beyond the competence and resource capability of SOCU to conduct a thorough and proper investigation into this matter. And I will continue to say so. Despite the fact that they gave Brutus 231 charges now, this thing is far deeper than that. And a proper investigation can go not only into the police hierarchy, because I said again, and Brutus, one of the things in the letter said, I said and I maintain, because that is a fact, that the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs is the accounting officer for the police, at least for capital projects. So all of those things, if the quartermaster store get lick up, those are capital items, things that budgetary capital, they're current account. So the Home Affairs Ministry has an hand in that, the PS, the accounting officer, even not the current one, the one before, the one that is sanctioned. The one that is sanctioned. So I maintain, if you want to do a proper investigation, all of these things have to be investigated. Who can forget the $60-something million fish? Chandel, remember? Chandel supplied $60-something million fish. They say Chandel is the front for a minister, Pillory Jew. That is what they say. That is what is alleged. That is the front. Even though I understand that is part of the problem. Because it looked like this, they allege that the man got his sweet woman or somebody associated with it to supply fish to the police, $60-something million. When the brutal one see that, he said, nah, this is big money for me. Stop the supply. Stop. The claim that the lady supplying stingfish, the fish supplied at markup prices, stop. And here that is part of the problem, because I hear the man complain, oh, they're not giving work to our people. They like this our people thing, you know. We want promoting our people, now they our people. Oh, they are not giving the contracts to our people. So blows. Man want everything for himself. Everything for himself. That is what's going on. See, I talk about the consumer, I talk about the SC, and I talk about a lot of things. Let me allow you to say what you want to say now, my friend.
Well, you were very clear about the SCs, very, very clear, clearer than I put it over. Well, you mentioned about the swimming pool, where they took the police funds and built a swimming pool. And Paul, listen, let me tell you something. They built a 3-lane swimming pool. So only 3 people could actually swim at the same time. 3 lanes. And it's not functioning. It's not functioning. When they could have make arrangement and use the National Aquatic Center, I get my grandson, I think every Saturday he goes to that place and do swim with the club. But the thing is that they utilize the money, build 3 lanes, they then working, and here the government say, hey, we didn't budget for it, as you mentioned. And there, a man met me on the road, and the man said they owe him millions of dollars. They owe him millions of dollars for work he did on there. And then when you go to the training center, and I can't call it an academy because it's not an academy. Maybe later on I'm going to talk about academy some other time. I said the training environment, there's nothing green in that environment. It's sheer concrete. They said green is a PNC thing, so they want to see nothing green there. And what they do, they're working against the low carbon development strategy. All those eucalyptus trees there, they chop them down and thing there. No, you see no grass there. It's sheer concrete. And I'm saying a 3-lane swimming pool they build that isn't functioning. And actually, it's only 3 persons could use it at a time. When you have peak period, you'll have hundreds of trainees in the college and they can't use it. And they still owe a man millions of dollars. So it's fraud all around. All around is sheer fraud and naked fraud. And more you investigate, more things surfacing. So then they need to do a real comprehensive and a deeper analysis of the financial situation in the Guyana police force. Go back a couple of years, and you find out the amount of fraud that took place. It is going to billions of dollars in fraud.
Yeah, billions of dollars. So let me go continue to talk about it. Are you gonna continue to share the light, man? Continue. The thumbs up, disappointing the number. It is something thumbs up at this stage. And I'm gonna say, a man who know said that Ikin was a C2 and he was sworn over in the regular force on the 1st of May 1988. He was a SC. But I know if it's a C, if that was the old word, or that was just the first 2 letters, or the first 2 letters of the word. So that is what is being said. Now let me say this here now. Let me move into this other part because time catching up with you. You can spend more time this morning on Brutus. We're gonna come back again. Police, someday last week, they roll out the Christmas policing activity, which is an annual thing. It started with Larry Lewis, where you have to come and do a presentation. The divisional commanders, crime chief, traffic chief, I did when I was the traffic officer, on your plans for policing the city in particular and its environs during the Christmas period, the cities and the towns and so on. So they had this presentation and the crime chief, Assistant Commissioner Blanham, made a presentation during which he said, murders are down, armed robberies are up. That is what he said. He said murders are down for over a particular period and armor. This is Stabrook News on the 15th. Police plans include drones. They said police Christmas plan include drones. And let me read part of it. They said with murders down, but armed robberies up. The Ghana Police Force yesterday launched its Christmas policing plan for 2024, and it will run until the 15th of January 2025. And drones will be among the devices deployed, aimed at ensuring public safety during this bustling late period. The plan includes an heightened police presence across Georgetown and other regions, with strategies designed to address crime reduction, traffic management, and community engagement. The GPF's approach involves collaboration with various stakeholders, including local businesses and security agencies, to foster a secure environment for shoppers and visitors. Crime Chief Brendan Blanham said that there has been a reduction in the number of reported murders so far this year. For the year, when compared with the figures of 2023. In 2023, 133 murders were recorded, while in 2024, 100 murders were recorded for January to November 11th. For 2024, 88% of the victims of homicide were males, while remaining 12% were females. Region 8, Pataras-Sepruni, recorded no murder for 2024, while 2023, 25 murders were recorded. And however, there has been an increase in the number of armed robberies. This year saw an increase of 11.2% with 229 incidents, while in 2023 there are 215. The peak hours of criminal events were highlighted at 6 p.m. to midnight. In 2023, 180 rape cases were recorded, while in 2024, 193 were recorded up to November 11th. According to the 10-year review, the highest seizure of illegal firearms was recorded this year, 162 guns from January 1 to November 11. The type of firearms seized were as follows: 67% pistol, 13% shotgun, 11% revolvers, and 8% rifles. Most of the firearms were seized in Regional Police Division 4. The firearms seized came mainly from the United States and Brazil. There was a reduction of 14.4% in serious crime reports for the period January to November 11th this year when compared to last year. The Ghana Police Force recorded 1,042 serious offenses for this year and 1,406 last year. The largest number of serious crimes were recorded in Regional Police Division 4A. A 5-year analysis revealed that 2024 accounted for the highest number of persons charged for the possession of cocaine. Hear this. A 5-year analysis revealed that 2024 accounted for the highest number of persons charged for the possession of cocaine. Business owners were advised to install security cameras at their premises. A number of serious crimes were solved using the security cameras around the city. The Ghana Police Force Christmas policing posture will feature deployment of Marine, mounted and anti-crime patrols, among others. Uniformed and plainclothes ranks will be deployed, especially during the peak hours. As part of the Christmas policing posture, all frontline officers will be equipped with an handheld communication device. Body cameras and drones will also be used. There will be an increase in ranks at the 2 international airports to cater for increased influx of visitors for the festive seasons. Regional Police Divisional Commander 4C Simon McBean highlighting Stabrook Market and Sophia areas prone to serious crimes in Georgetown. However, in 2024, there was a 52% decrease in serious crimes committed in Sophia, while at the Stabrook Market, there was a 26% decrease compared to 2023. Regional Division 4A intends to have 102 anti-crime patrols per shift with the deployment of 222 ranks. Vehicle patrols are expected to be conducted round the clock. Traffic Chief Mahendra Singh said that there were 99 fatal accidents for 2024. That has been 23% reduction in the number of fatal accidents compared to 2023. That is a release. Now we get a lot of things we want to see. Let me bring Mr. Conway for us to comment on this. CC, you are the stick figures and give them. Let's hear what you have to say.
For me, Paul, it is meaningless, it is senseless to produce crime stats to show that certain category of what they call serious crimes are high. When the public perception is that crime is high and there is a perpetual fear of crime in this country. And all they're doing, they're analyzing 11 stats, 11 categories of crime. What did you do? Thanks. Murder, rape, burglary, larceny from the person, kidnapping, break and enter larceny, robbery under arms where guns are used, robbery under arms where other instruments used, robbery violence, and a robbery with aggravation. They say they had a 11% rise in gun crimes. So these are the figures that Larry Lewis started over 30 years ago, and they didn't add, they didn't alter, or they didn't correct anything. It is pristine. They're using this same thing here that started 30 years ago to tell us that crime is to evaluate how well they are doing. So offenses like cybercrime, which they're weaponizing, offenses under the Sexual Offense Act 2010, not catered for, cultivation, possession, and trafficking in cannabis, not catered for. And we know what happened in the Bobby River area, where hundreds of millions of value of cannabis is being destroyed regularly. Possession and trafficking in cocaine. We had 4.4 tons of cocaine at Matthews Ridge. There is no serious crime. Unlawful possession of firearms. That is not no serious crime. And we have guns coming in from Brazil and guns coming in from the United States, but them is not serious crime. Gold smuggling is not no serious crime. And all them offenses, I think, where they charge Brutus for, those are not serious crimes at all. I had expected that the crime chief would have given us some idea in terms of what some of the tactics they use to get some amount of success. I was expecting to get them. I can't say they use strategy because they ain't got no strategic plan. What were they? The safe city apparatus, was it helpful? Boots on the ground was helpful. Well, they said that the president said that the safe city, that the cameras that they're using will replace boots on the ground. What about eye in the sky? What was it successful? What about the unlawful searching that they did in people's premises without warrant? Was it helpful? What about the illegal stop and search? Was it helpful? You know, the thing is, they're trying to put dust in people's eye. Low crime rates does not necessarily mean that the police agency is efficient and effective. A high ratio of arrest rates doesn't necessarily show that the police are doing a good job. High ratio of police officers to citizens doesn't necessarily mean that they mean high quality police service. Responding quickly to calls for service doesn't necessarily indicate that the police are doing a good job. Rather than looking at crime rates, number of arrests, and response time, evaluation should assess whether the agency is effective in fulfilling its responsibility to the community. And here is the responsibility of the police force. I'm going to read from the Police Act. Here's what the police got to do. Here's the primary role. The force shall be employed for the prevention and detection of crime, the preservation of law and order, the preservation of the peace, the repression of internal disturbances, the protection of property, the apprehension of offenders, and due enforcement of all laws and regulations to which it is directly charged, and shall perform military duties within Guyana as may be required of it by or under the authority of the minister. So those are the primary role of the police, not dealing with the curry competition, not dealing with cook-up competition, not dealing with flavor of the dance, not bowling ball for the president's score runs, not engaging in cleanup campaign. Concentrate on your primary role. Concentrate on your primary role. And if you want to know how well you're doing, and before that, I remember reading Sir Robert Peel, who is considered the father of modern day policing. Here we say, the test of police effectiveness is the absence of crime and disorder, not the visible evidence of police activity in dealing with those problems. Let me go over. So Robert Peel, considered the father of modern day policing, he said, the test of police effectiveness is the absence of crime and disorder, not the visible evidence of police activity in dealing with the problems. Like what they're doing now, Christmas policing, a whole set of police all about the place, and they feel that, you know, they're doing well. They're doing well. And also, the public expect the police to behave in a certain way. They expect the police to be fair, to be accountable, to be efficient and effective, to be honest, to be apolitical, to be impartial, to respond to well-founded criticism with a willingness to change. And if you want to know how well you're doing, Paul, all the police gotta do, go into the community and do community survey. Don't come on going Christmas time and tell me this percent increase and that percent decrease and all kind of thing. Go in the community and do community survey. You get negative and positive feedback of the public perception of the police. If you do the survey, you might be able to. It might give you an opportunity to set organization goals and priorities. It might identify your strengths and your weaknesses. It might show area for improvement. It might show improvement area for where you gotta do training, and might help you to really to cause ranks to be motivated. So I'm saying, apart from the stats, bringing the stats there is meaningless, is nonsense, when the public perception is that crime is on the increase and they're living in perpetual fear of crime. So I'm saying, go to the public, do community survey, go in the communities, and again, many people with master's degrees and all kind of thing, or if you want to do independent survey, and do the survey, and that will help you to understand whether or not you're achieving your task. And your task is set out in section 3.2 of the Police Act. Not flavor the dance, not cook-up competition, not duck curry competition, not bowling ball for president hit, and not steaming fried fish and say that you eating well. So the whole thing is that they have to get a better way of trying to assess how well they are doing. And I say one of the good ways is to go to the community and do community surveys. And also, last but not least, they need to look at the crime triangle. And the crime triangle talk about the suspect, the victim, the suspect, and the location. And most time they concentrate heavily on put a lot of resources on dealing with the suspect, whilst the victim and the locations is left almost untouched. That you need to deal particularly with a location where things are happening. When I was doing management at the time, they talk about a pistol, that at locations things happen politically, economically, technologically, legally, environmentally. Look at what's going on there and use your resources to deal with the situation, deal with the locations. If you eliminate the criminal habitat, you solve crime, you reduce crime thing. But don't only just look at the suspect. When you look at this, put all your resources dealing with the suspect, and the location is left unscratched, untouched, you cannot really solve crime. You cannot be effective.
Well said, my brother. One of the things you got to remember too is that there's no way in the mandate where you got to be cleaning, organize your cleanup and all that. I noted with the last organized, what they call the National Cleanup Campaign, they were not that well. They did not publicize the activities of the police as they did in the past. You know, all the time you used to get big picture on the police social media page and all that. I didn't see this time around. I didn't see this time. I don't know if they did not participate or if they decide to do it on the down low. Now, before I move on, let me again continue to ask you to share. And I want to thank all of those people who have made contributions, either like Zelle or Cash App. The numbers are one number. The number is below there. So for those of you who want to make a contribution to the upkeep of this program, you can get a little freck, you can give a little thing, Cash App or Zelle. Cash App, those are the only two avenues that we have at this stage. We're going to look to make sure those who live in England and so on, I want to give us something to see how best it can be done. Now, and let me see, let me say this one. The breaking news has come hard and fast. I saw, they said car is a bitch. I see now, about 2 hours ago, another letter to Leroy Smith of Big Smith News. And I can read it to y'all. Soku Eds sends another legal notice to Big Smith News Watch, owner, Leroy Smith, following latest report on harassment allegation. See contents of legal letter below. You had one for $600 million. Well, this is a letter, this is a lawsuit, $600 million, Karim sue Big Smith. Then the minister sued for $5 million. So you have $605 million now. So this one now is another pre-action letter, as they would call it. And here what it says, it's addressed to Mr. Leroy Smith, Big Smith News Watch. Dear sir, what did I get sued for that? Dear sir, read defamatory remarks and publication about Fazil Karim Bash. We continue to act as attorneys at law for Assistant Commissioner of Police Fazil Karim Bash. You are no doubt aware that we have instituted legal proceedings number on behalf of our client. Notwithstanding proceedings instituted against you continue to make a number of defamatory remarks and publication of and concerning him on the website. They got the website there, and on Facebook, which are operated by you. On the 14th of November 2024, you published or caused to be published an article titled Clarity to be Provided on Report into Sex Allegation Against Soku Ed. In your article, you essentially stated that our client has a pending disciplinary complaint of a sexual nature against Netta, and that there was enough evidence to prove that Karim Bash, and I quote today, and that quote, was enough evidence to prove that Karim Bash acted in a manner that required a criminal charge against him under the Sexual Offences Act. End of quote. You have also sought to communicate, and did communicate by way of innuendos, that 1, Mr. Karim Bash is guilty of sexual misconduct. 2, Mr. Karim Bash is guilty of sexual offense and or criminal offense. 3, Mr. Karim Bash is avoiding/evading a lawful investigative process. The publication and remarks about our client are completely untrue and defamatory. On the 23rd day of June 2022, our client was advised by the Secretary of the Police Service Commission that there was insufficient evidence to proceed with any disciplinary action against him. We have enclosed hereto letters from the Police Service Commission which confirm the veracity of our claims. Your words have caused injury to our client's reputation and have exposed him to ridicule and lured him in the minds and estimation of right-thinking members of society. You have also disparaged him in his profession and office. Our client's reputation and the reputation and image of the Special Organized Crime Unit have been seriously affected by your remarks. The allegation that one of Guyana's highest-ranking police officer and the head of the Special Organized Crime Unit is corrupt and ineffective itself damages its credibility and the credibility of its investigative work. We are instructed to demand, as we hereby do, that you immediately publish a full and complete retraction and apology in terms approved by our client. Legal proceedings will be instituted against you to recover damages, if same can be agreed, for the reputational harm caused to our client as a result of the statement you have published. Yours sincerely, and the lawyer name is there. So Big Smith got another another letter. I don't know if he will do like me and give a short answer. I know Brutus sent me one, which I received something last week, and I said, short answer, 2 letters. First word starts with F, and the second word starts with U. The word starts with U. We're not talking about the letter U. The word U. Y-O-U. That is the word. So let's see where this will go. But I noted, even by the Christmas policing presentation, questions are asked of Mr. McBean, and Mr. McBean very skillfully, in my view, dealt with the matter. Very, very skillfully he dealt with it. But he coming again, He come in. So you have that. Now I had so many. Let me tell you, going back to this report about decrease in crime. Imagine, let me tell you what is the thing for me. They're saying that crime down, serious crime down. And in the same report, they tell you a 5-year analysis revealed that for 2024, that 2024 accounted for the highest number of persons charged for the possession of cocaine. The highest number of persons charged, and this is just serious crime, the 11 category, that is not listed. That is not listed, yet you're telling us that serious crimes are done. And in the same release, you're saying the highest number of persons charged with the possession of cocaine. In the same release too, you said that according to the 10-year review, the highest seizure of illegal firearms was recorded this year, where 162 guns were seized between 1st of January and 11 November. Now they get it type. They get it type. And they talk about murders. They say murders down. But let me tell you this. Murders might be down indeed, because what they do is a broad brush. Now you get different categories of murder. They must tell us that. You have the what we call the disorderly murder. So men fight and somebody get killed, disorderly murder. You have the domestic murder, where men killing, most time men killing their wife. Up to recently, we heard about a similar incident. The man chop up your wife and ingested poison. And then the most disturbing category of murder is what we call felony murder, of which there were many in recent months. Felony murder is a murder committed during the commission of a crime. So upon breaking the house to steal and kill the occupant. We have had some of those, Linden, Essequibo Coast. Tell us about those things, man. Break it down. Don't tell us that we had 100 murders, because you might very well find that the worrying category felony murder is up. But they try to camouflage this thing in this blanket thing, tell us murders done. And a man told me the other day, man said, you get the amount that they get, you're talking about 2 murders a week. 2 murders a week in a country of 750,000 persons. And then they come to give this whitewash thing, oh, murders are down, and crime is down, serious crime down. You believe any right-thinking Guyanese? People, especially those who live in Guyana, will believe you when every day you pick up the paper, every day is a robbery with a gun. You finding gun, you finding cocaine, you finding all, you reporting that. But those things are not considered serious crimes. They are not considered serious crimes. So all of these 231 charges that Brutus now get, they are not considered serious crimes because they are not listed in your 11 category. Misconduct in public office, that is not serious. Money laundering, not serious. And what else? Lastly, by public officer, not serious. Abduction, you have had abductions in recent times, not serious. You are not considering them serious. You're not. So again, you come with all kind of things to try to fool people. But people are not going to be fooled. People are not going to be fooled because they know exactly, they live it. They live it. Let me bring in Mr. Conway for his closing remarks, and then I'm going to get a wrap. CC, your closing remarks.
Yeah, as I say, they're trying to throw dust in people in terms of the crime, giving you figures. And they need to be more disaggregation, as you mentioned, more disaggregation. Go deeper and let me find out what's going on. And then them drive-by shooting and all kind of thing. Then maybe them is not serious crime. They need to do far better. And what's yet, when we're gonna look at the traffic situation, what's yet when we're gonna look at the traffic situation? They need to find a better way of analyzing what is going on. And as I said, go to the public, do your citizen survey, and you're going to find out, and it's going to help you in terms of solving and reducing crime.
Yeah, well said, my brother, well said. We said that Brutus, remember the last time in 2014 he went to court? I think I showed you this, fully dressed in uniform. Well, when he went this morning, the man went, this is his civilian clothes. He went with his civilian clothes there this morning. With the tooth, he went there this morning. Now, I had some other stuff to tell you about. We got to wait until Wednesday. You would have seen, I suspect some of you may have seen, that recently there was a development in this Quindan Bacchus murder case where the state was asked to pay a sum of money. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk too about a matter where David Patterson was prevented from leaving, and he was awarded damages recently, and the charges against him were dismissed. I had an experience with immigration traveling out to Guyana yesterday, which I will tell you about on Wednesday. An unpleasant experience. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday. Time does not permit us to deal with it. Today I want to shortchange you. I don't want to shortchange you. So, folks, we have come to the end of the first program for this week. Again, I invite you to subscribe, because I suspect we're going to do some short clips so that you can get those clips when they are posted. And, you know, I like to urge, especially as we approach in this festive season, to be extremely, extremely careful. The roads in Guyana are extremely dangerous. Accidents, people getting robbed, notwithstanding what they're saying. It is a frightening thing to drive in Guyana. So I urge you to continue to be safe. Continue to do your best to be safe. We should all also be our brothers' keepers, right? Look out for each other. Look out for each other. Police ranks during this period, be on the alert. Be on the alert. The administration should make sure that the welfare of the ranks, I mean, they come and they talk about all this increase in patrol and all that. Are they looking into the welfare of the ranks adequately? Are they looking into the welfare of those ranks who are posted around the place? So, folks, God's willing, we're going to be here on Wednesday. And you know what I forget to mention today? I forget to tell you all that today is the anniversary of Jonestown. That slipped me totally. It's not what I remember. And I remember it yesterday, but we're going to talk some about it on Wednesday. Anniversary of Jonestown, Jim Jones and Jonestown. Today, the 18th of November, was 1978. I can't remember the exact 1878, 18th of November 1978. Jonestown anniversary is today. You're going to see all type of documentaries and so on being floating around. So, folks, stay well, and God's willing, we're going to be here on Wednesday to bring you a next episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. Until then, have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the week. Bye.